Before there were empires, before there were armies, before there were nations, there were stories written on scrolls like this one. Stories so powerful, so dramatic, so extraordinary that they have survived thousands of years. And yet most people have never heard this one. This is the land of Canaan, ancient, vast, brutal, a place where kings rose and fell by the sword. What would you do if your family was kidnapped by 5 kings and their armies? Most people would run. Most people would hide. Most people would accept that the battle was already lost. But one man took 318 servants and did what no army general would dare attempt. This is Genesis chapter 14. And by the time this video ends, you will never see Abraham the same way again. To understand this story, you need to understand the world Abraham was living in. This was not a peaceful time. The ancient Near East was a brutal place where power was everything. Kings ruled by fear, and one king had risen above all others. His name was Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. He had built a fearsome coalition with 3 other kings, Amraphel of Shinar, Arioch of Elasar, and Tidal, king of nations. 4 kings, 4 armies, unstoppable. For 12 long years, the cities of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, and Zoar had been paying him tribute, protection money, just to survive. Year after year, gold, livestock, grain handed over in humiliation. But in the 13th year, they rebelled. That decision would cost them everything. Chedorlaomer swept through the entire region like a fire. The Rephates, the Zuzites, the Emites, these were not ordinary people. Ancient texts describe them as giants, men of enormous size and terrifying strength. Chedorlaomer's armies crushed them all without slowing down. Village after village, kingdom after kingdom, nothing could stop them. At the Valley of Siddim, the battle was not even close. The kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled in absolute panic. Some soldiers literally fell into the tar pits that filled the valley floor. Chedorlaomer walked into the cities unopposed. He took everything, food, valuables, livestock, and most devastating of all, he took the people as prisoners of war. Among those prisoners was a man named Lot, Abraham's nephew. One man escaped. The Bible calls him a fugitive. He ran through the desert heat until he collapsed at Abraham's camp near the great trees of Mamre. He told Abraham everything: the battle, the defeat, the prisoners, Lot. And Abraham sat with it. A man who had just heard his nephew was taken captive by the most powerful military force in the region. He was not a king. He had no army, no fortress, no nation. Any reasonable person would have said, "This is too big. There's nothing I can do." But Abraham did not hesitate for a single moment. Something shifted in that silence. He looked up, and there was no fear in his eyes, only purpose. He called his 318 trained servants. He armed every one of them. He contacted his allies, and he moved. 318 men against 4 kings and their entire armies. By every human calculation, this was suicide. Abraham was not just a man of faith. He was a strategist, a military mind. He divided his 318 men into separate units to attack from multiple directions at once. He tracked the enemy all the way north to the city of Dan, and then he waited for night. In the dead of darkness, when the enemy soldiers were sleeping, when no one expected anything, Abraham struck. The attack erupted from every direction at once. The soldiers who had just crushed giants were now running for their lives from Abraham's servants. The mighty coalition of Chedorlaomer, broken in a single night, Abraham pursued them relentlessly, all the way from Dan to Hobah, north of Damascus, hundreds of miles. He did not stop until every single prisoner was recovered, every possession returned, every person brought home safely. Lot was free. The mission was complete. But here's the part most people completely miss. On his way home, 2 kings came out to meet Abraham. The king of Sodom offered him a deal. "Keep the goods, just give me back my people." But before Abraham could respond, a second figure appeared. His name was Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of God Most High. No introduction, no origin story. He simply appeared. He brought bread and wine, and he blessed Abraham. Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. Abraham gave Melchizedek a tenth of everything, a tithe,
before any law commanded it, before any temple existed, freely, instinctively. Then Abraham turned to the king of Sodom and refused everything, not a thread, not a sandal strap. He said, only God gets the honor of making Abraham rich. And then Melchizedek was gone. Who was he? No genealogy, no birth, no death. The book of Hebrews describes him as one who resembled the Son of God, a priest forever without beginning of days or end of life, a mystery wrapped inside a battle story. Only God writes like this.
Lot was home. His family was safe. Every prisoner recovered. Every possession returned. That is a full picture of Abraham. Courageous enough to chase 4 kings with 318 servants, humble enough to refuse the reward, faithful enough to honor God before he even got home. The next time you face something that looks completely impossible, remember Genesis 14. Abraham did not wait for perfect conditions. He moved them with what he had, in the direction of what was right, and God made the difference. That is faith in action. If this story opened your eyes to a side of the Bible you never knew existed, subscribe right now, because there are hundreds of stories exactly like this one, and we bring one to life every single week. God bless you. See you in the next one.